All right, let's go. Hello, Ann Arbor. I am Carrie Rheingans, and I get to represent part of Ann Arbor as a state rep here in Lansing, and that, to me, is the best job in the world. I love doing it, and I love seeing you today, this afternoon. I am so glad to be standing here at the Fighting for Reproductive Freedom bus tour as it makes its way through Michigan. It is going from kind of south to north, so keep your eyes on the news to see where we're going next. This week, Michiganders from every corner of our state are hearing from Kamala Harris and folks all over the country about her commitment to protecting reproductive rights and freedoms. This tour is coming at a crucial moment in this election. We have 43 days left. And Michiganders will start voting absentee this Thursday. This race could not be closer. If we're gonna win, we need every single one of you to show up, get involved, and spread the word about why you are supporting Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and Democrats up and down the ballot. I'm so excited to elect Kamala for many reasons. And one of them is her commitment to reproductive health care. Throughout her entire career, she has helped protect women's care and health when they are in need. And she's fought to make our decisions for our own bodies. She's fought hard for our rights to do that. When she wins in November, she'll keep working to protect abortion access, expand reproductive health care, and fight back against Republican attacks on our fundamental freedoms. If Donald Trump wins, he'll turn the clock back for Michiganders and our reproductive rights. He is proud of overturning Roe v. Wade. He brags about it. And he's made it clear that he'll go even farther in a second term, making it impossible for women everywhere, including in Michigan, because what they do at the federal level can overturn the protections that you, the voters, voted for in 2022, and that we have passed to codify things in our legislature in this term. They can overturn things everywhere and prohibit people to accessing abortion care everywhere in the country, ripping away access to contraception, punishing doctors, and jeopardizing access to IVF. And that's his vision for our country. That's what he wants for every single one of us. And we cannot give him that chance. So for the next 43 days, come and join our team. Please volunteer to knock doors, talk to your friends and family, stand up and fight for the future that you want to see. Voting starts, and November 5th is just around the corner. The time to win this race is now. We have the power to make a difference in this election. The path to the presidency runs right through this state. And to win, we need you. So, do you believe in reproductive freedom? Do you want to send Donald Trump home once and for all? Will you do everything you possibly can to help Kamala Harris, Alyssa Slotkin, help us maintain our one-vote pro-choice majority in the Michigan House of Representatives and vote for Democrats up and down the ballot? That's right. In Michigan, we know how to finish a job. It is time to get it done. Thank you, everybody. I'm honored to introduce my colleague and my state senator, Sue Shink.
Thank you, Carrie. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sue Shink, a proud U of M alum and also your state senator. The stakes of this election could not be higher. If Donald Trump wins, women in Michigan could see the protections that we fought so hard to enshrine in our state constitution ripped away. Remember, Trump believes, and this is a quote, some form of punishment for women who have had an abortion.
That's not right.
He said he'd be leading the charge, also in quotes, to ban abortion nationwide. He brags about how he overturned Roe versus Wade, and he has called the extreme abortion bans that have followed, in quotes, a beautiful thing to watch. A beautiful thing to watch? Which part is he talking about? Is it the women who've had a miscarriage bleeding out in parking lots after being denied the care they need? Is it the doctors who can't provide women care without the fear they'll go to jail? The working women who have to spend thousands of dollars and travel to another state to get the basic health care that they need? No. Or maybe it's the stories like Candy Miller and Amber Thurman, two Georgia mothers whose stories recently came to public light, who died because they were denied abortion care under their state's abortion ban. This isn't a beautiful thing to watch. This isn't a status quo that we can tolerate. This is a national emergency, one that Donald Trump caused, and that will get so much worse if he wins in November. That's why we've got to fight with everything we have for Vice President Kamala Harris, for Alyssa Slotkin, and for our other Democratic candidates up and down the ballot. And fortunately, I'm getting too excited. I have to give you a chance to clap and cheer. But that's because I'm really worried about it. And fortunately, we have a leader at the top of the ticket whose record speaks for itself. As Attorney General of California, Kamala Harris worked to keep reproductive health care providers safe. As a U.S. Senator, she fought back against attacks on our fundamental freedoms. And as Vice President, she has traveled across the country. She's met with countless women who are now living under Trump abortion bans. And she was the first Vice President in history to visit a reproductive health care clinic. When she wins this election, she'll keep working to expand access to reproductive health care and protect our fundamental freedoms. She's the right choice for Michigan, and I want to make it very clear. We need every single one of you in this fight. We're going to win because of all of you, because of all the voters you talk to, and the work you do. Kamala Harris has spent her career fighting for the people. Now we need to spend the next 43 days fighting for her, and there's no group of people up for the challenge like us. Because like she says, when we fight,
we win!
When we fight,
we win!
When we fight,
we win!
Thank you, and now I am going to turn things over to our amazing Lieutenant Governor, Garlin Gilchrist.
I'm a little taller than everybody else. Go Blue, y'all! I am so proud to be here with all of you, here on the campus of the greatest university in the history of the world, the University of Michigan. I cast my first ballot for president in Markley. Markley has really small rooms. It was in 2000. I voted for president on this campus in a close election. I had the experience of being so excited and so confident that what I was doing was going to change the country, but we lost. That's real. The reason I share that story is because the reason we're going to win this election is that every student on this campus will make sure that everyone else on the campus, everyone else in their lives knows how they need to vote in this election to make Kamala Harris our next president. And one of the most important issues at stake is our reproductive freedom. Now, I know you might ask, what am I doing as a man here talking about reproductive freedom? Well, the issues of reproductive justice impact every single one of our lives. The freedom to define your family and your future as you choose, to have control and make decisions about your own bodies, that impacts all of us, and those freedoms being at risk is a danger to women and men all across America. And the number one danger to those freedoms is Donald Trump. So we have a role to play to make sure that everyone knows how much of a fighter, how much of a leader, how much of a champion Vice President Kamala Harris is as a protector of our reproductive rights. She has never backed down from a fight in her entire career, and this fight for reproductive justice, she was on it before the Dobbs decision overturned Roe versus Wade. Just like we were on it before it got overturned in Michigan. Thanks to the work of me and Governor Gretchen Whitmer, abortion rights were never unavailable here in the state of Michigan. And that's great to have leaders, Democratic leaders in power alongside Democratic majorities in the legislature who will take action to protect and expand access to reproductive rights. But on the ballot this fall is the opportunity for Donald Trump to roll those away with one signature. But if we vote like we're capable of, if we have record-breaking turnout on all of our college campuses, if we have record-breaking turnout amongst youth voters, we had the highest youth voter turnout in the country in 2022. But guess how high it was? It was 50%. We better than that. Can we get more than 50% of people to vote on Michigan's campus this year? Can we get more than 50% of young people to vote in Michigan this year? That means I need you to call them. I need you to text them. I need you to argue with them on the internet. I need you to knock on their doors. I need you to tell your story about why reproductive freedom is important to you, about why voting rights are important to you, about why public safety is important to you, about why more affordable college is important to you. And when we fight for these issues, we gonna win. So, because when we fight,
We win!
when we fight,
We win!
when we vote,
We win!
when we organize,
We win!
and when we talk to people every single day about what's at stake, we will win. Now, the coolest part about being in a swing state is famous people come see you. Everybody's eyes are on Michigan. And so when we got eyes on us, we need to make sure we have incredibly strong voices from every corner of our culture to come tell you why the election is so important to them and why they think the election should be so important to you. So I am so proud to welcome to Michigan, for the first time in his life, the amazing, talented Adam Scott.
Well, thank you. I'm quite a bit shorter than Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, so I'm going to use this. Oh my God, it's such a coincidence because I'm so Kamala as well. How weird. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for being here, first of all. It's inspiring to see so many involved, engaged young people. How's everybody doing? Good? It's great to be here, and it really, truly, to feel the joy and the optimism of the Harris-Walz campaign. It's kind of permeating every corner of this campaign and of this country. So thank you for carrying that even further forward. Now, my name is Adam Scott. I'm an actor, but yeah, I know it's when I say it, it's embarrassing. So thank you for having a response. Exactly. This is. I asked them if they could do this 25 seconds in. Thank you very much. Now, I'm an actor, but I'm also a father, a husband, a brother, and I stand for reproductive rights. Let me tell you what. Today in our country, in America, thanks to Donald Trump overturning Roe versus Wade, women and girls have fewer rights than the generation before them. That has not happened for decades and decades. I don't even know when the last time that happened. Maybe never. In America, we do not roll back rights in the United States of America. But Donald Trump did. The damage, yes, boo is right. The damage from the Trump abortion bans has been absolutely catastrophic. For women, for families, for the doctors, forced to make an impossible choice between providing care and risking jail time, or breaking their sacred oath and letting their patients suffer. First, do no harm is the sacred oath. And doctors all over our country, 20 states, is it now, have to break that oath or they will go to jail. It's insane. Now here's the thing, the vast majority of Americans agree that every person should have the freedom to make their own decisions about if, when, and how to start a family. Their own decisions about what to do with their own body. You know, I'm from California, so I've been a big Kamala Harris fan for a long, long time, but I fell head over heels when I saw her question Brett Kavanaugh. Right? She asked him if he was aware of any law that allowed the government to have power over the male body. I mean, he was confused. It definitely looked like he'd never considered this before, and his first, you can see it on his face if you watch it on YouTube. His face is like, wow, that's a pretty good point. Never quite thought of that before because I just never really thought of them as equal. That's how I read it. It's absurd and offensive. So how did we get here? How did we get to a place where rights are being taken away from over half our population? Donald Trump ran for president in 2016 on an explicit promise to appoint Supreme Court justices who would overturn Roe v. Wade. It's precisely what they did, and now Trump is proud to be the reason that an entire generation of women and girls had their rights stripped away. More than a third of women of reproductive age across the country live under a Trump abortion ban. And many of them with zero exceptions for rape and incest. Zero. Women having miscarriages are turned away from emergency rooms. Doctors are being threatened with jail time just for doing their jobs. Across fertility, access to fertility treatments has been put at risk for just people hoping to start families. Now, Trump and J.D. Vance, they want to go further than this with Project 2025, their Project 2025 agenda. They want to ban abortion nationwide, and believe me, they will do it. Forcing states to monitor women's pregnancies and threatening access to IVF and contraception. That is what it says in Project 2025. It's not the America that I know. It's not the kind of country I want to live in. It's not the kind of country that will provide the future that I want for my children. Okay? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm using my voice and my vote to support a proven champion for women's reproductive rights. That's right, Vice President Harris. She has a vision of restoring reproductive freedom for every woman in every state, and the record to back it up. As Attorney General of California, she worked to keep reproductive health and healthcare and their providers safe. As a U.S. Senator, she fought for legislation to protect women's reproductive health care access. And as Vice President, she led the administration's response to the overturning of Roe. She helped in expanding access to contraception, defending medication abortion and emergency care, and safeguarding privacy protections for patients. Now, earlier this year, I had the opportunity to join Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. We had a conversation about the importance of men getting off the sidelines in this election and fighting for reproductive freedom. Now, not only is it critical that men speak up about reproductive freedom, it's actually quite easy. Attacks on reproductive freedom are an attack on all of us, not just women. And every American's fundamental freedoms are on the line in this election. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to breathe clean air, drink clean water, to love who you love openly and with pride. And yes, the right of every American to make their own healthcare decisions without government interference. Should I take longer turning these pages? I feel like I'm just doing it too quickly. So this election is a choice. On the one hand, we can go with Donald Trump's dangerous backward-looking agenda where the economy only works for his richest donors and wealthiest corporations. I mean, that's what he did before. We've seen this happen before. He was our president for 4 years. We saw it happen. We know what it'll be like. If he gets into office, we are going backwards. Where women and girls have fewer freedoms than the generation before them. But on the other hand, we can choose an opportunity economy where folks can't just get by, but they can get ahead. Where every American has the rights and freedoms they deserve. That's the vision I want for our country. So let's stand together and elect Vice President Harris and Governor Walz this November. For the very idea of freedom that we cherish as a country. Okay, thank you very much. You know, don't go anywhere because we have Connor here to tell you exactly how you can help get this done. So thank you. Here comes Connor.
Good afternoon. My name is Connor Welch, and I'm a part of our campus and youth team. Look, I don't have to tell anyone here that we are in the fight of our lifetime. We are at a crossroads. The choice we have in front of us is between good and evil. It's about the future versus the past. But today, the choice in front of each and every single one of us is simple. Are we going to agonize or are we going to organize? Are we going to do something? I have to let you in on a little secret. The movement to drag us back on reproductive freedom, voting rights, and to love who you love openly with pride is very strong, but our movement has to be stronger. The only way we gain strength is to act, and the time to act is now. We have 43 days left until this election is over. It doesn't start on November 5th, it ends then. We're going to register new voters on campus every day. We knock doors every week. We make phone calls around the clock, and there is a need for you in this campaign. So I'm going to ask everyone to take their phones out and now scan the QR code that's going to be passed about the crowd. And we're going to invite you to join us in registering new voters right now on campus. Because when we fight, we win! When we fight, we win! Thank you. Woo!
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you too. Hey, Abby. Oh, great. Right on.
Would you like to be interviewed?
Sure. I think we're all gonna be.
Well, they'll eventually come over.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, can I record it? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love your speech. Can you just speak to why you decided to come on campus? What really motivated you to get involved in this tour?
Well, it's such a stark choice this cycle. And every time there's a presidential election, I always feel like this is the most important presidential election of my lifetime. And then every time the next one tops it, and this one is by far the most important presidential election of any of our lifetimes, because we've seen what Donald Trump is capable of. And his next presidency would be like the last one, except with the gloves on, without restraints. It would be catastrophic for our country, and it would be going backwards. That's the key, is that Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz, they want to go forwards. They want a new path forward. Donald Trump is bringing us back.
And the youth vote is really important, and we really need to make sure we get the turnout here on campus. I mean, we can't have Michigan State beat us in voter turnout, so we need to make sure that every University of Michigan student and every young person in Michigan turns out. Turnout is going to be a very important, very key part of this election. So everybody needs to figure out what their voting plan is. We've got 43 days. You can start voting a lot sooner than that.
Why do you think it's important for people outside of the traditional political realm, you know, politicians, canvassers, roles like that, to get involved in these campaigns leading up to the election?
Because the results of these campaigns, the results of the election, affect everyone. And I think it's important for everyone to realize how directly they're affected by a presidential election. Sometimes people feel like it's huge and their vote doesn't matter because it's such a massive thing. I know in California, I hear that all the time. People saying, since it's California, my vote doesn't count anyway, it doesn't matter, which is ridiculous. Every vote counts in the result of the elections, particularly this one. Couldn't be more important and more consequential for every person's life in this country.
Do you also hear like, oh, we're in California, so we're safe, you know, our reproductive rights are safe, we don't have to worry about that?
Yeah, and you know what? That is more than true. Trump gets into office, he is signing a 50-state abortion ban. No doubt about it. It's part of the plan laid out in Project 2020, as well as restricting access to IVF, contraception, monitoring women's pregnancy. I mean, it's easy. And you know what? He says he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. His name is mentioned in that thing, what, 350 times or something? It's crazy. So there could be more consequences.
Are people getting that message?
I hope so. We're trying to make sure they do it. And seeing all of these incredible young people show up today, who are all engaged and interested, it's a great sign.
And what are you hearing when you're trying to spread the message that men should care and speak up too?
Well, I hear a lot of positive feedback, and I see men really engaged and really learning about and seeing just how consequential it's been, because everyone can see what has happened with this Trump abortion. Everyone can see the catastrophe that's turned out to be.
And we have one more passionate about men being involved in this too.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen, one of the reasons why Proposal 3, our Reproductive Freedom for All proposal passed, is because we saw support from men and women across the state in all parts of our state. So that actually got the most votes on the ballot in 2022 because that issue was so important to people everywhere. And I think it was one of the drivers of youth turnout, one of the drivers across the state of Michigan. And so the fact that that is so front of mind for voters this election is yet another opportunity for more people to vote for that music. And so I think we all have a role to play, and we all need to make sure that we step up and step in at this point.
And then one more, M Live. Yeah, hi, my name is Michaela, I'm a reporter with M Live. So mine's a little bit more Ann Arbor focused, because I apologize if I missed you guys asking this, but I know Parks and Rec obviously has some ties. Has made some callbacks to Ann Arbor, and that's what role you're really super popular for. So I'm curious, is this really your first time in Ann Arbor for one?
It's my first time in Michigan.
Got you. Awesome. And then I guess when it comes to being a part of this, why was it so important for you to make the stop in Ann Arbor in particularly? And like, I guess what's the experience been like so far for you?
The experience has been great. I mean, I've only been here for 8 days, but you know, it's incredibly important to try and encourage students and young people to get out and vote. Because it's the toughest demographic to get out and vote. And, you know, it's just, making sure they're engaged, making sure they understand the stakes of this election. It's a presidential election, but also the state elections as well.
And Ann Arbor has a lot of Democratic votes and a lot of Democratic voters, but they need to actually make a plan, get out and vote. 3 days until absentee ballots are out, you can take your absentee ballot and hand it in at an early voting site or drop it off at any drop box. And there's going to be 2 early voting sites on campus at UMMA and at the Dude. So make sure that you tell all your friends and make a plan to vote on the first day they're open. In case you don't make it, you can vote on the second day. They're open 9 days. So don't let November 5th get here and think that you procrastinated your way away from voting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you guys. No, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, should I take a selfie? I'm asking for a selfie.
photo.
Okay.
And if you want.
We're gonna do that for a few minutes. Okay. Can we take a selfie? Then we'll say that. Then will you say your actual
All of you home.
No, you just.
Yeah, I'll just ask you that and you can answer.
Just, you're running early or just whatever it is. Yeah, this is great. Just like right here. All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead. I wear it.
You had one job.
Just go up and just ask me something. It's all good. It's all good.
It's fine. You're doing incredibly well.
You're doing great.
We're gonna get it too.
All right. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Yes, but first you need to tell me vote, and you have 5 seconds.
I'm registered in Michigan. I'm voting.
Excellent answer.
Can like 3 more of you do the same thing? Great. 1 second.
I think is super important. And every person on this campus who's frankly, every young person in Michigan, we have the most to gain on this election coming out with President Harris and the Vice President Walz, because your future's at stake. Whether it's access to reproductive rights, economic opportunity, being included in the economy of the future, being able to love who you want and be who you are, just having access to being your greatest and best self. Voting will help you take a step toward that. So everybody needs to focus on this.
Yeah, Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki. Do it, Nikki.
All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3, hey!
And then right here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, if you have a sign that says arms are common, hold it up. If you have a sign, hold